We have a Monday Night Football game tonight in Los Angeles at SoFi to finish off week number 10. Why don't we start by playing Tua here, and then we'll come back and I'll give you all the numbers. Of course, the Dolphins, Scotty, they are in a bad way heading into this one. They have been brutal this year, 2-6. But believe it or not, if they won tonight at 3, it'd only be like a game and a half out of the last wild card spot in the AFC. Well, Tua wants you to make you think it'll happen. Here he is.
I think it starts in practice and how we prepare with conversations you have as a leader of the defense, as a leader of the offense, as a leader of the team, having those conversations with the guys of what the expectation is and continuing to harp on the guys to stay in it, stay in it. We could be one game away from going on a streak and, hopefully turning this whole thing around. So I would say that's sort of the process.
Yeah. So I guess there's some level of feeling like, Morency said that they have come close the last couple of weeks. They lost by 1, they lost by 2, whatever it is. And they're right on the cusp of turning it around. They're right there. And I don't know if I buy that based on who they're playing tonight. A team that's hot, that's winning, that's at home, that has a great quarterback. And how he said everybody and their brother's betting on the Rams. I mean, like 90% of the bets are on the Rams. So is it tonight that they win and cover? I still don't see it. Do you?
Rams are a lot better than them right now. This has gone back to 2.5. Now, there was some shifting the other day. It was 1, 1.5. Now it's back to 2.5. Is Tyreek Hill going to play? I mean, who knows? I actually think he is. He usually goes. I mean, it's very rare that you don't.
Is that the difference? They're gonna win by 2, and you're gonna get burned. Is that what it is?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be with that. I think the Rams will be able to take care of business. I also actually like the over tonight. I think that we'll score some points. The Dolphin D hasn't been great this year. I think the Ram offense runs much better, obviously, when both Kupp and Puka Shells are out there, which you're going to get tonight. So I kind of like the over. And with Tua back in there, we saw this last week against the Bills, right? I mean, Miami's going to be able to score some points with Tua back at the helm. So I think this over, which has gone down a couple points, it was 50 the other day, it's 48.5 now. But I think that's based on them thinking that Hill might not be out there. So I like the over more than anything, and I'll go with you on the Rams for this game this evening. Now, one thing I will factor in, and I always have to give you something that makes you think about your selection, is the dogs this weekend. They barked, no doubt about it. 10-3 against the spread for the underdogs here in week number 10. Does that make it 11-3 tonight with Flipper? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
I need a drink.
But I always have to give you that. I have to give you that. How about touchdowns instead? Why don't we do some touchdowns
here on this show?
Let's do touchdowns instead, because I think that's going to be a lot more fun for us. We did get Allen yesterday. We got Pickens yesterday. So we had a couple from our Sunday list that we're able to get across the board. I think I like the over tonight. That means I give you 4 instead of 3. Puka Shells for the first tutty at 9-1 tonight. Got thrown out of the game last week, if you remember. Got tossed. I think that Puka's going to have a huge night, get himself back involved. Now, I know Tyreek, we don't know yet. Obviously, if Tyreek's not playing, we're not playing. But if he's in, Scotty, I'm in at plus 140.
He hasn't caught one in 7 weeks.
That's why I'm in. If he's playing, we'll get him in the end zone. Mostert, huge fumble last week, got chained to the bench after that. The number's a little, plus 220 for a guy who's usually in the 125, 130 range because of the fear that he's not going to play. I think McDaniel still gives him a shot, hopefully at the goal line as well, plus 220 for him. And Demarcus Robinson. Whoa. I know the attention's on Kupp and Puka Shells. This guy's been catching big touchdown passes the last few weeks from Stafford, including the overtime winner last week against Seattle. He had 2 touchdowns in that game. So a nice big price for Robinson here tonight for the Rams. That's where I'm spreading out the tutties tonight.
Well, listen, I was excited yesterday because I think Friday, I know for sure I gave you Freiermuth, but I may have given you Williams too. In his first game, I said, watch him throw to Williams. So they both scored tutties and Pickens. We had all 3 of them. So we were ringing the bell like crazy yesterday, which is always great for everybody that watches coast to coast, obviously.